already. So today it's been 2 weeks since I posted a video, and I'm now 9 weeks pregnant. I've been feeling pretty good. I got that job I was talking about last week, or my last video I mean. So that's great. I start next week, and that should be awesome. It's only for 2 days a week, but it's good enough for me. It gives me some extra cash for the baby, and yeah, so I'm really happy about that. I have been feeling pretty good, although I've been very, very tired. I've been eating lots, gaining some weight, but mostly just very tired. I'm sleeping all the time. Whenever my son takes a nap, like, I hit the bed, I'm done. Like, it's been pretty tough, but, you know, the first trimester will be over soonish, and hopefully that will pass. Yeah, so today I was going to talk to you about my first pregnancy symptoms that I overlooked, thinking that it was due to my period coming, or my health problems that I had before, so that, you know, I wasn't really thinking of pregnancy. I was thinking of period symptoms. So the first one I noticed was like this weird boob tingle. It's hard to explain. I don't really know how to like explain it per se, but it's the first time it happened. I was walking up the stairs, and all of a sudden I had like this weird like tingly feeling in my boobs. It kind of felt like a letdown of milk, but not that intense, a little bit less. Anyways, it was like a weird feeling, and I was like, what the heck was that? Like, I haven't nursed my son in months, and I don't think I have any more milk in there, so what was that, right? Like, I just didn't kind of understand what the heck that was. But I was like, well, maybe just because my period's coming, you know, it's some sort of boob thing, right? So this happened a few times, and I was kind of, that was my first, like, real, like, hint, because that's never happened to me unless I was pregnant or breastfeeding. So I was like, okay. But then I didn't really get any other symptoms. Like, I was feeling pretty good, like, I wasn't really, you know, like, what else? I was peeing a lot, but I was also very thirsty, so I was drinking lots of fluids, so, I was peeing a lot, but I was thinking, well, it's probably because I'm drinking so much, you know, fluids, but I still pee all the time. Like, that's one of my, pretty strong symptoms. Always, always, always going to the bathroom. It feels like that anyways. So I was peeing a lot, had my weird boob things. I was cramping, and I was like, well, cramping, periods coming, no brainer, you know. So there was that. What else? For about a week before I found out that I was pregnant, I was very, like, I get frustrated easily. Like, with my boyfriend or with my son, like, I was just like, you know, like, I was just like, oh my god, why are you talking to me like that? Or, like, you know, like, I was just getting frustrated easily over, like, dumb things. And I usually get like that before my period comes, and then it kind of goes away. But it wasn't going away. I was feeling very, like, irritable. Everything was irritating me. Like, you know, like, if our dogs were barking, I was just like, oh my god, I'm going to kill them. You know, like, it was just, like, the dumbest things. So yeah. Another thing I noticed, another big hint for me, was the smelling of onions on my hands. That was one weird symptom I had with my son too. If I eat onions and I, like, have my hand, like, on my face, I can, like, smell onions on my hands. No matter how much I wash them, I can smell onions or garlic or whatever. So I remember, like, this one day I was sitting there, and I was just like, you know, just like this or whatever, and I smelled it on my hands, and I'm like, what the heck? But I'm like, I did cut an onion the night before, so I was thinking maybe it was just because of that, and so, you know, like, I wasn't really thinking anything of it. I was kind of overlooking them, thinking it was just because my period was coming, and then it didn't come, and then bam, you know, I was pregnant, and then it kind of made sense. I was looking back at conversations with my best friend, and there were some nights where I was just like, you know, oh, you know, I'm going to bed early tonight, I'm not feeling too great, or whatever, and, like, I didn't really think anything of it, but, yeah, so those were my, first pregnancy symptoms, was, the boob tingles, some random cramping, frequent peeing, irritability, and smelling onions really easily. So, yeah. It's hard, when you don't really know, because there can be like other explanations for certain symptoms, because, when you're trying to have a baby, you're always reading into like all of your symptoms, and then you don't end up pregnant, and you're like, oh well, I'm just going freaking crazy because I thought I was pregnant because of this and this and this and this, but really it was your period symptoms or whatever. So I don't try to read into things very much. Not that I was trying to conceive, but I'm like, I wasn't planning on being like, oh my gosh, my boobs are tingling, I'm totally pregnant. Like I wasn't gonna be like that. I'm gonna be like, well, there's probably an explanation for that. I guess I'll find out in a few weeks. Like I wasn't really trying to like have a kid. So like I wasn't really expecting that. But yeah. So those were my first pregnancy symptoms. I hope that maybe it helps some of you trying to figure out if you're pregnant. But my advice is don't read into things too much, because there was like a 1 month there a few months back where I thought I might have been pregnant, and I was like reading into all my symptoms. I was like, oh my gosh. I got like a false positive, and like it was like this horrible thing. And so I just advise you to not read into your symptoms too much unless they're like obvious, like throwing up or whatever. But if they're just like subtle, symptoms, don't read into them too much. Don't get too excited, because you never know what can happen. Once you get that positive test, then you can freak out. Then you can be like super excited and start reading into all your symptoms. But you just never know until you get that positive test. So try not to freak out, too much until then. So that's what I try and tell myself anyways, because, all of us end up like having flashlights on pregnancy tests and like, reading into things and Googling things, and we kind of go a bit crazy. So, try not to do that. Try to be calm and just wait till you can take a test, and then take a test, and then if it doesn't show up with a line right away, or you can't see it without a flashlight, then you probably should just wait and take another one, so just, try and be calm about it. But anyways, yes, that was my pregnancy symptoms, and I hope that you all have a great rest of the day. Bye, guys.